So speedcubing is a hobby that most people don't get into because when they first pick up a Rubik's Cube, it's a fun toy and people don't know that there's a way that it actually can be solved. People of all ages solving these cubes in very impressive time. So it was really fun to do. I have always been colorblind.
There are more than 13.9 million people that are declared disabled within the United Kingdom. One of the most common disabilities is colour blindness, affecting more than 3 million people.
On top, so you'd have the
Harry Reid is one of every 12 men living with colour blindness.
I was diagnosed when I was very little. When I was living in Cyprus, I used to get told off for colouring things in wrong. And I would have the teacher pull me aside with a box of pencils and say, "What colour is this?" And I would be able to identify it. But when it comes to shades and stuff, that's when it starts to come into play, because different shades of green can look red. I recently found out peanut butter isn't green, it is in fact brown. That's something that a lot of colorblind people don't actually realize, because they'll take it as face value, because I mean peas will be green, peanut butter you would imagine is green. So it can be a surprise to some people.
Colour blindness is often caused genetically. If someone's parents are colourblind, that is the most probable cause. This is caused when the condition is carried on the X chromosomes from the carrier. Men are far more affected by colour blindness than women because of how the X chromosome carries the condition. Within the retina of the eye, there are two cells known as rods and cones. These are the parts of the eye which process the images we see. The cones specifically are responsible for what is known as colour discrimination. Different types of cones are responsible for the sensitivity to light rays, including blue light, red light, and green light. When combined, these cones allow a person to see the full spectrum of colour. Some cones, however, can be faulty, and, depending upon the cones that are affected and how affected they are, this determines the severity of a person's colour blindness. With many disabilities, we often focus upon the negatives, but sometimes great things can come from what we perceive as a limitation.
When I was living in York, I decided to go to college. I didn't really know what subjects to choose, but I decided to choose geology as one of the subjects. Through geology, my geology teacher had loads of fossils on the back walls, and I was really interested in all of the fossils which he had.
On social media, Harry goes by a different pseudonym, the Fossilologist, an account which he uses to document his travels around the country looking for fossils.
Yeah, so Kettleness is good because it's kind of untouched by a lot of other people, which means the fossils that you find there, you're probably going to find an abundance of them. There used to be a path from the car park that would take you all the way down to the beach, but since then, the cliff has eroded away, fallen into the sea, so that path is no longer accessible. So you've kind of got to go this longer way round and climb down a cliff face to get to the beach. So it makes it harder to get to, which means there's going to be more to find, because not many other people are going to be bothered to climb all the way down to get to the beach. Getting down is a bit of a nightmare, especially as you've got to face the cliff to go down, but getting up is a lot easier because you can see where you're putting your feet, whereas, going down, a lot of it is a guessing game. Most of the time when I'm hunting, I'm either with very few people or on my own.
So I see all the ammonites and stuff in there, but I don't know where best to hit it because they're all facing different directions, so I'm just going to hit it hard in one way and hope that I get some.
I enjoy the sort of, I stick my headphones in, I've got my hammer, I've got my backpack, I'm just going around hitting rocks. So it's a nice, relaxing feeling. So some people go cycling to just relax on a weekend, and I much prefer to go to a beach and hit rocks.
So what is so unique about Harry's fossil hunting hobby, and how does his colour blindness affect it?
There's the ammonite that I just found there, and then if you take it apart, there's two.
For fossil hunting, it has benefited me. With geology, different things can stand out more to me though, like black is a very predominant colour. When I was fossil hunting down south of Whitby, I can't remember where I was, it may have been Sands End, we were actually looking for fossils on the beach, but we noticed that the cliffs had all slid down to like mudslides. And I had noticed some black shiny stuff in those mudslides. So I was going to picking out these black bits, and my friends that were with me were like, "Oh, that's Whitby jet." So I ended up finding all this Whitby jet on the beach, and I was with two other people that weren't colorblind, who didn't actually collect that much as we were going out. Every few steps I would take, my hand would be straight into this pile of mud, and I would pull out this massive piece of jet, and it was a lovely feeling. So that helps me a fair bit.
We are all born different, yet some are able to adapt with their differences to become truly unique. And sometimes new technologies, such as colour correcting glasses, can push this even further.
They say on them it takes about 20 minutes for the glasses to work. When I first put them on, I tried to do a reaction video, but I put them on, I was very disheartened because nothing had changed. They just gave everything a very red tint. I decided to actually look through the documents that were sent with the glasses, and it did say very clearly on them that you've got to wait 20 minutes. So it's not sort of enough time for a really good response video for the glasses, unfortunately. However, after I did wear them for a bit, I took some colorblind tests online, and 9 times out of the 10, I got normal color vision. So they definitely did help.
I did find this one earlier here. Oh, yeah. So they tend to be broken up, but they can get a lot longer than that and come to a point on the top. Sometimes you can find the fossilized inside bit of a belemite, which is like a spirally screw head.
It's cool. I'll show it to my GoPro. It's nice. I'll give that a watch. Basically, yes. I'm going to be taking the rope on the left.
I suppose there's a lot of thoughts with the way that colours look is what colours does everyone else see? I wish that I could see the world that everyone else could see, but I know that at the same time a lot of people wish that they could see the world that I could see. Just agree to disagree and just see the world as it is.